Gamers have argued for ages about what really makes a roguelike. Some cling to the Berlin interpretation, permadeath, grids, the whole classic rulebook. Others say if it's got replayability, it counts. But honestly, I think both camps are missing the point. To me, a true roguelike is the one game you could play forever. No other titles, no distractions. Just one endless loop of chaos, discovery, and satisfaction that keeps pulling you back every time you swear you're done. Because that's the magic of roguelikes. They don't just end, they evolve with you. Cult of the Lamb. Scholars once believed that power and cuteness could never coexist, and then Cult of the Lamb showed up wearing a crown made of evil and fluff. You play as an adorable little lamb resurrected by an ancient god who basically says, hey, start a cult for me and maybe don't die again. So you do what any reasonable player would, build a cult, brainwash followers, perform creepy rituals, and swing your sword at everything that moves. It's part roguelike dungeon crawler, part Animal Crossing fever dream. Between purging heretics and decorating your cult's village with cute little huts, the game constantly dances between wholesome and horrifying. The art style? Straight up hypnotic. The soundtrack? A perfect blend of darkly cheerful insanity. And just when you think you've seen it all, the game throws in new mechanics, updates, and rituals to keep your followers and you hooked for hours. It's proof that you can serve darkness and still look adorable doing it. Dead Cells. Some games let you die and move on. Dead Cells lets you die, mock you for it, and then reward you with a brand new way to die again. It's a seamless fusion of Metroidvania exploration and roguelike chaos. Fast, fluid, and frustrating in all the right ways. You play as a blob of sentient goop possessing a decapitated corpse, because of course you do, and your job is to hack, slash, and dodge your way through an ever-shifting castle that really doesn't want you there. The beauty of Dead Cells lies in its momentum. Every run feels kinetic. The way your character vaults over enemies, rolls through arrows, and chains attacks together is pure bliss. You'll constantly unlock new weapons, powers, and secret routes that make you feel like a speedrunning god, right before you get flattened by a giant hand. It's brutal, it's fair, and it's endlessly replayable. Few games make death feel this good. Dead Cells doesn't punish your failure, it celebrates it. Hades. If Greek mythology had a rock concert, Hades would be the headline act. You play as Zagreus, the snarky, rebellious son of the god of the underworld, trying to escape hell itself. And every time you fail, you don't just die. You get roasted by your dad, flirt with literal gods, and pet a three-headed dog named Cerberus. Not a bad way to spend eternity. Developed by Supergiant Games, Hades takes the roguelike formula and gives it something the genre rarely has: heart. Every death feels like progress. Every failure unlocks new dialogue, new upgrades, and new ways to make chaos beautiful. The combat? Lightning fast. Every weapon feels like an extension of your will, whether you're dashing with Athena's blessing or blowing enemies into ash with Zeus's lightning. And the voice acting? Chef's kiss. It's not just a game about escaping hell, it's about learning to live with failure and turning it into poetry. The Binding of Isaac. If childhood trauma had a dungeon crawler, it'd be The Binding of Isaac. This game is as disturbing as it is brilliant, a grotesque yet oddly addictive journey through randomly generated rooms full of monsters, poop piles, and your own questionable life choices. You play as Isaac, a terrified kid who dives into his basement to escape his fanatically religious mother. Down there, you'll find tears for bullets, demonic bosses, and item combinations that make every run feel like pure chaos. The good kind. There's a strange beauty to its filth. Behind the gross-out humor and disturbing imagery lies one of the deepest roguelikes ever made. The sheer number of item synergies, transformations, and endings means no two runs are ever the same, and you'll always want just one more. Even over a decade later, the game keeps evolving, like some mutated masterpiece that refuses to die. The Binding of Isaac isn't just a roguelike, it's a therapy session gone horribly, wonderfully wrong. Slay the Spire. You ever think to yourself, what if a roguelike and a deck builder had a baby? Well, Slay the Spire is that baby, and it grew up to be an absolute genius. The premise sounds simple: climb a giant living tower, fight monsters, and build a deck of cards along the way. But here's the thing, every card matters. Every turn feels like life or death, and every run somehow finds a new way to humble you. It's a game that rewards patience, planning, and the occasional lucky draw that makes you feel like a tactical god. The balance between strategy and chaos is razor sharp. One bad decision can end a 45-minute run, while one perfect combo can carry you to glory. And the best part? No two climbs are ever the same. The relics, cards, and enemies mix together into this endlessly replayable puzzle box of perfection. Slay the Spire isn't just addictive, it's the kind of game that whispers, just one more run, until suddenly it's 3 a.m. and you're questioning your life choices. Noita. If chaos were an art form, Noita would be its Mona Lisa, except the painting's on fire, drowning, and exploding at the same time. This physics-driven roguelike is pure magic, literally. You play as a mysterious sorcerer wandering through a pixel-perfect world where every single pixel obeys the laws of physics. Lava flows, water evaporates, and if you mix the two, boom, instant sauna of death. The real hook is its spell system. You craft your own wands by combining spell components like some unhinged alchemist, creating weapons that can summon black holes, rain acid, or just accidentally vaporize yourself. Every run is unpredictable, often disastrous, and always fascinating. You'll die constantly, burned, poisoned, crushed, electrocuted, but you'll never stop experimenting. Noita isn't about mastering chaos, it's about learning to dance with it. One misfire can destroy everything, but when it all clicks, you feel like an elemental god rewriting the laws of creation itself. Enter the Gungeon. If bullet hell and bad puns had a love child, it'd be Enter the Gungeon. It's a twin-stick roguelike shooter where every single thing, and I mean everything, revolves around guns. You play as one of several gunslinging misfits diving into a literal dungeon made of bullets to find the ultimate treasure, a gun that can kill the past. Yeah, subtlety isn't on the menu here. Every room you enter is pure chaos. Bullets flying in geometric nightmares, enemies shaped like bullets shooting more bullets, and bosses that make your palms sweat in HD. But beneath that absurdity lies a masterpiece of precision. Dodging, rolling, flipping tables for cover. It all feels so good. Every defeat pushes you to go again because you know you could have rolled just a little earlier. And the humor? On point. From the caliber-themed enemies to the ridiculous weapon names, Enter the Gungeon knows exactly what it is. Fast, funny, and endlessly replayable mayhem. Darkest Dungeon. Abandon all hope and most of your sanity before entering Darkest Dungeon. This isn't just a roguelike, it's psychological warfare disguised as a gothic RPG. You don't just battle monsters here, you battle stress, madness, and your own questionable leadership skills. Every hero you send into the dungeon carries their fears, quirks, and traumas with them. And trust me, when one of them snaps mid-fight and starts laughing hysterically instead of attacking, you'll feel it in your soul. The art style drips with grim beauty. Thick black lines, crimson blood, and despair that practically oozes off the screen. The combat is turn-based, brutal, and methodical, but it's the mental collapse mechanics that make this game unforgettable. It's less about winning every fight and more about managing who survives long enough to lose their mind next. Darkest Dungeon doesn't want you to succeed, it wants to break you. And when you finally triumph, battered and half-mad, it feels like you've truly stared into the abyss and somehow walked back out.
Passage.
Spelunky 2. There's Chaos, and then there's Spelunky 2, a game that politely hands you a rope, a bomb, and a dream, then immediately drops a rock on your head. It's the kind of roguelike that laughs at your plans. You think you're being clever, setting off traps and grabbing treasure, and then a chain reaction of explosions sends a shopkeeper into a shotgun frenzy that ends your run in 3 seconds. Welcome to Spelunky 2. This sequel takes everything that made the original a cult classic: procedural levels, physics-based mayhem, brutal fairness, and dials it up to 11. Every run is a blend of precision, panic, and pure luck. You'll dig through alien temples, ride turkeys into lava, and die in ways you couldn't invent if you tried. But when it clicks, when you finally pull off a perfect run, it's euphoric. Spelunky 2 doesn't hand you victory, it makes you earn it, one painful, hilarious, and unforgettable death at a time. Vampire Survivors. If addiction had a pixel art face, it would look like Vampire Survivors. This game starts simple. You move, your weapons auto-fire, and you just survive. 5 minutes in, you're confident. 10 minutes in, you're unstoppable. 20 minutes in, the screen is vomiting enemies, the music is blaring, and your PC fan sounds like it's about to lift off. It's a reverse bullet hell roguelike where you are the storm. You collect upgrades, stack abilities, and transform into an apocalyptic lawnmower that shreds everything in sight. The genius is how minimal it all is. One joystick, one button, infinite dopamine. And the longer you last, the more the chaos builds until you're basically breaking the game with pure power. It's not pretty, it's not complex, but it's absolutely hypnotic. You don't play Vampire Survivors, you enter a trance. Then 3 hours vanish and you're wondering what year it is. CRYPT of the NECRODANCER. You ever play a roguelike and think, yeah, but what if I had to dance to survive? That's CRYPT of the NECRODANCER in a nutshell. A dungeon crawler where every move, attack, and dodge has to be perfectly timed to the beat. Miss the rhythm, and you're a corpse. Nail it, and you're basically a sword-swinging DJ fighting skeletons to some of the catchiest music in gaming. The brilliance here is how the rhythm isn't a gimmick. It is the gameplay. Every enemy moves to the same beat, creating this bizarre harmony of chaos that feels equal parts combat and choreography. And the soundtrack? Absolute fire. From chiptune bangers to remixes that slap harder than a dragon boss, it makes every run pulse with energy. It's challenging, stylish, and completely unique. A roguelike that proves sometimes the best way to conquer the dungeon is to groove through it. Unexplored 2, The Wayfarer's Legacy. Some roguelikes want to kill you fast, Unexplored 2 wants to watch you wander. This game trades blood and bullets for exploration and atmosphere. You're a lone adventurer journeying across a vast procedurally generated world filled with ancient ruins, strange factions, and choices that actually ripple through time. When you die, and you will, years pass. Kingdoms fall, new empires rise, and the map itself evolves, meaning no two lifetimes ever look the same. The most fascinating twist? There's no money. Everything runs on bartering, so you might trade your sword for food or your boots for a relic. It's a small thing, but it makes every decision feel human. Survival through compromise. The pacing is slower, meditative even, but it rewards curiosity over conquest. Unexplored 2 isn't about mastering the system, it's about losing yourself in a living world that remembers you long after you're gone. Balatro. On paper, Balatro sounds simple. It's poker. But in practice, it's poker on acid, steroids, and divine inspiration all at once. You're not just playing cards, you're bending the rules of the game until reality folds with them. Each run challenges you to build the strongest poker hands possible while stacking bizarre modifiers. Jokers that multiply your score, tarot cards that transform suits, and spectral entities that rewrite the laws of math. And here's the beauty. Just when you think you've broken the game, it breaks you right back. The difficulty scales, the combos get wilder, and suddenly you're pulling off cosmic level plays that make you feel like a gambler in the Matrix. The music slaps, the visuals pulse with retro casino vibes, and the dopamine hits come faster than your brain can count the points. Balatro isn't a card game, it's a roguelike fever dream about risk, luck, and the beautiful chaos between them. Returnal. If Groundhog Day took place inside an alien nightmare directed by H.R. Giger, you'd get Returnal. You play as Celine, an astronaut trapped on a hostile, ever-shifting planet. And every time she dies, she wakes up again, right back where it all started. But this isn't your average roguelike death loop. Returnal uses repetition to tell one of the most haunting sci-fi stories in modern gaming, where memory, grief, and obsession blur into something terrifyingly beautiful. Gameplay-wise, it's butter-smooth chaos. The combat is fast, fluid, and brutally precise. Every dash, dodge, and shot feels like a dance with death. The DualSense controller turns every trigger pull into a pulse of adrenaline, while the alien environments practically breathe with menace. And that soundtrack, it crawls under your skin and stays there. Returnal is more than survival. It's about facing your own reflection in the dark. Every death hurts, every loop teaches, and every victory feels like clawing your way out of a nightmare you might never escape. Streets of Rogue. If GTA, Deus Ex, and a Saturday morning cartoon got thrown into a blender, the result would be Streets of Rogue, a roguelike sandbox that's equal parts strategy, stupidity, and straight-up anarchy. You drop into a procedurally generated city full of thugs, scientists, vampires, gorillas, yes, gorillas, and your job? Complete missions however the hell you want. You can sneak through vents like a pro, hack computers, bribe guards, or just walk in with a rocket launcher and call it a day. Every system in the game reacts to your choices. Steal from someone, and the cops might show up. Blow up a wall, and now you've got half the neighborhood chasing you. It's pure cause and effect chaos that somehow works. And the beauty is how free it feels. No rigid levels, no right way to play, just endless, hilarious possibilities. Streets of Rogue is the ultimate sandbox for creative troublemakers who think stealth means throwing a banana and hoping for the best. And that's the beauty of roguelikes. You die, you learn, and you dive right back in. Every failure's just a setup for a better run. So tell me, which roguelike stole your sleep schedule? Drop it in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell, because here, dying is only the beginning.